How's everyone doing today? I happened to be walking through the clearance section at Walmart one day, as I'm sure we all do, checking for things on sale. And I happened to find this Stryker camp stove. I've seen them around. This will be my first time testing one out. I haven't opened this or done anything with it yet, so we'll see how it works here today. I've used the Jetboil stoves. I've used the same stove that MSR makes, similar, but I've never used any of the Camp Chef, these Stryker 200 multi-fuels. So I'm going to test it on propane to see how fast it boils and how fast on the isobutane, and see which one is faster. I'm sure the isobutane will be, but what the times will be for either of them. I have a stopwatch so we can see how quickly each one brings it to a boil. The temperature today is between 68 and 70, and there is a slight breeze. So it'll be a good base test. So we'll open it up and get started. I'm not sure, if any of you guys that are familiar with these or have used them, if you could ring in long-term use, how they hold up, how well they do. So out of the box, there's the stove and unit. It does come with a mesh stuff sack, directions, whatnot. Set that aside. We'll put the stuff sack in there. That way we don't have to worry about that blowing anywhere. It's got this neat little wire retention for the handle, which is kind of nice because on my MSR it doesn't really lock in. And I know that I think the Jetboils, if I remember right, don't really lock in either. So that's kind of a nice little touch. Open that off. Take this tag off. Make sure we get rid of all that. Take care of it in the garbage. So we got a plastic lid. This must be our propane adapter or butane adapter. Side. We got our stabilizer for assuming the propane. Yeah, that's pretty nice. It says it'll hold, bring it up to the camera. It'll hold up to a liter. I don't know if you can see that or not, but so you can actually get a little more than a liter in there. Pretty decent amount, especially if it's you're taking one of your kids or somebody else is with you. Nice little stabilizer for the butane. For as lightweight as these stabilizers are, they're so worth having. I've used them backpacking with even my smaller stoves. It just helps stabilize everything because the ground, obviously, or rocks that you're cooking on are never perfect, and that just adds more stability, and it's just safer, and you don't have to worry about things falling. All right, so this is set up right now to do butane, so we'll start with that. And that was open in the package, so something to keep an eye out for. Make sure it's shut down before you screw that on. So we'll set this aside for our test later. Give this a test. It is nice. It's got the piezo igniter right here. Let's see. Give it a good spark. Not sure if you can see it. it does have the slots in here if you have the smaller cans, the mini cans. So we'll put that up. Set that. So that's locked in now, as you can see. And we'll fill it up with some water. Go. So it turns. Let's see. All right. Get our stopwatch all set. Go. Throw the lid on, just make it quicker. We got our stopwatch started. Bring you all in so you can see it. Starting to do something. So I started to get the boil started kicking up around 8 minutes, and yeah, we got a good boil now. And now I only turned the butane on. I only turned the setting on about halfway. I don't run my settings fully on unless you're in the middle of winter and you really need the heat. To me, it's just a waste of propane or butane, whatever you're using. So we'll shut this down. So we had, it started to show signs of boil early, and then by 8 minutes we had a good rolling boil for 1 liter of water. Cold water. It was right out of the tap, and we have a spring-fed cistern, so it's cold. But all right, I'll switch over to propane, and I'll be back. Now we did that test with the isobutane. Now we're gonna hook up and test with the propane and see how quickly that boils. Same thing, I'll only set it halfway instead of setting it full board. Just how I prefer to do the test instead of on full. I don't know. Obviously this will if you can boil it, you go by this temperature, you know you're going to boil it even faster on the high setting, but this gives us a good place to start. And this is the little adapter for hooking to propane. Take the top off here. Go. You can definitely see why you'd want the stabilizer as tall as this thing ends up being, but it's good and stable with those ends like that. So we'll fill it up to the, this thing's good and tight. Fill this up to the, get started, and we'll be right back. Try that out. I'll bring you guys back when we're all done. So we're at 7.5 minutes and not much anything going on. I can definitely tell you I'm not, definitely wouldn't rely on the propane. It's spring. Things are slowly popping up around here. Coming through. Growth is happening. Before long, this will all be grown up. Love this time of year, seeing all the growth. Well, we're at 11 minutes, and we're starting to get a little somewhere. Not too much activity. We're at 20 minutes, and we still do not have a boil. I'll go a little longer, but if it doesn't start boiling before too long, I'm gonna call it, because that's just crazy. Things are starting to turn green. Good. Birds are chirping away down in the woods. So we're at 25 minutes and still no boil. It's good and hot, it's getting close, but at this point I'm just gonna stop, because there's no way I would ever try to cook with propane with this stove. I'll give you my thoughts here in a minute.
get everything shut off and taken care of quick.
All right, so my thoughts on this: I would never ever try to cook with using propane. It's just 25 minutes and we still didn't have a boil. It was hot enough to cook with if it was pure, if the water was already filtered, purified, so you didn't have to worry about boiling. Then and you're just heating it up. But who wants to wait 25 minutes for hot water that's hot enough to cook your meal? That's just absurd. And something I noticed with the propane, once I got to like a medium setting, there was no higher. Like I could keep turning the dial, but the flame didn't go any higher. So I don't know if that's the way the adapter's set up, or it could be I just got a bad adapter or a bad setup. But I know that that worked with the isobutane, because when I turned it all the way up, it would go, the flame would go higher. So that was only an issue I experienced with the propane. So I know it was either the adapter, or it could be the propane canister. Although, I mean, that's letting propane through, so it's really up to me. It's got to be either the adapter, that's all it'll allow, which is absurd. I would definitely, I like it. I like the size for camping with somebody else. I'll probably take this with me and test it out and use it with camping with either my daughter or one of my sons. Because it's great for 2 people, great, cooking for 2 people. It's a nice size, so you don't have to heat water up twice with one of the other ones. It worked great with the isobutane. It was boiling good at 8 minutes on a medium setting, so at high, I would guess, 5 to 6 minutes boil, maybe faster, I don't know. And granted, the temps today are 68 to 70, so the colder it is, the longer it'll take to boil, as we all know. But otherwise, I mean, it seems neat. Obviously, I just took it right out of the box, so it hasn't been used hardly at all. So I'll play around with it for the next, year or so and see how it holds up. But for, $30 on clearance, it seemed like a pretty fun purchase to try out. And I know, a lot more people are picking this stuff up. It's nice to have cheaper gear from Walmart for people just getting into camping and whatnot that can't afford a Jetboil or an MSR or whatever. It's a nice little stove, especially on clearance. I mean, normally I think they're around like $70 to $100, so $30 was nothing big. And a lot of stuff is clearance right now, so you can go check your local Walmart, maybe grab one if you want to. But anyway, that was my little test. I'll do some more actual camping tests with it, and you'll probably see it in some future videos. Just another little stove to add to the collection to test out and use. Anyway, thanks. Hope you guys enjoyed this and it was of some value. And let me know, any of you that have one of these, and if tried to use it over propane, what your experience was. Whether you had a good experience and maybe mine just has an issue, just leave a comment down in the comment section and let me know, because if that's the case, then I'll take mine back and get it swapped out. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see if others had the same issue or not. But anyway, hope you guys all have a great day, and thanks for watching. Have a good one. Bye.